How do you bring people together in an election year? Just have Fannie and Freddie tack on a 0.5% charge on the mortgages. This is the Mortgage Banking live stream. Hello and welcome to the Mortgage Banking live stream. Today is August 17th, 2020. I'm Troy at Garris Horn, and we are here to educate, connect, and entertain. Today we're going to do a business update. We're going to do a regulatory update. If you have any questions or any comments, feel free to do a text to me. My contact information is down in the YouTube channel and the description below. You can also just send me an email, and we can get your comments and questions in that way as well. You can also call when we're not doing a live stream, and we'll try to get your questions answered on one of the next shows. But send those questions in, send those comments in. We always appreciate them. A couple of shouts out as we start to roll into this live stream. First of all, Texas MBA. As everybody knows, I love the Texas MBA. Its Mortgage Symposium and Reverse Mortgage Day are now virtual, and they are in November. Check out the Texas MBA. Always great content, great people, and it's going to be a great event. A couple of special thanks to people, and you'll know why in a moment. So, Alonzo Sheffield at Cross Country Mortgage, thank you. Ian Wright. Ian's out there. He's trolling the waters for his next opportunity. Ian's a fantastic person, been in the mortgage banking business a long time. He's very steeped in warehouse lending, has lots of good qualities. Check out Ian Wright. If you need his contact information, let me know and I can get you to him. Definitely somebody that you want to know, and he always lands on his feet. He'll be successful. But he's out there looking for his next opportunity. Joanna Shelton, Republic State Mortgage. Thank you, Joanna. And I appreciate all the support. So last week we did a poll. This was just for fun, really. We did a poll. Who would be viewed as the most disruptive CFPB director? And we got lots of interesting responses. And I'll share some of those with you, as I mentioned I would. First of all, we got some comments that disruption could be good or bad, and that's true. And I purposely left that vague for that reason, because disruption, it can be good, it can be bad. It probably a lot of times it's both, just depending on what perspective you're coming at, whatever the disruption is. It can be, it's change, right? It's change in ways that some people like, some people don't like. That's almost always the case. So as we did this poll, some of the answers we got were, and a lot of people, I'll tell you, they didn't want this information. They didn't want to say this publicly. So I got this information through a backstream, and but I wanted to share it with you. So some people said Director Cordray, he can't be beat. He was the disruptor to begin this whole CFPB process, and that he is the guy. He is the disruptor, and there's no way anybody could be more disruptive. Again, depending on how you look at it, it's either pro or con, and probably both. But anyway, he was viewed as the most disruptive CFPB director. Now, we were actually talking when we were talking about this question and this poll, we were actually talking about going forward prospectively. A couple of people thought that maybe he should come back as director, but I think some of the comments were really just, he was the guy, the original disruptor. There were some comments, Director Kraninger, the current director of the CFPB, that she is disrupting the overreach. So people viewing the original CFPB and under Director Cordray as overreaching in some ways, regulating by enforcement in some ways. And so their comments were along the lines of, we are getting a better control over the CFPB and a more reasonable process at the CFPB. And so Director Kraninger is disrupting in the sense that the first CFPB director was overreaching. Again, these are all just opinions. No right or wrong here, just some of the feedback. Some of the comments were tear down the CFPB. People who were hoping that the CFPB, when it was ruled unconstitutional, would have been just dismantled. And there are still people out there, of course, that believe and hope that Congress will now step in and dismantle CFPB. So those were some of the comments. Elizabeth Warren, Senator Elizabeth Warren, she was named as some of the people that might be, and this is on a prospective basis, as a person who would be most disruptive as the director. Bernie Sanders, same thing. Senator Bernie Sanders, viewed as disruptive, possibly. Representative Katie Porter out of California. Somebody mentioned her. Got a comment, an interesting one about Andrew Yang, former presidential candidate Andrew Yang, and how Mr. Yang might be a person who would be disruptive if he were placed in that directorship. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was named. Her name pops up all the time. As you know, she's very vocal. She has very strongly held positions and gets a lot of attention. And so a couple of people have mentioned her. Somebody said me, Troy Garris. No thanks. I'm not interested. They wouldn't want me anyways. But that was I think hopefully that was just a joke. Okay, so that was the poll, right? And again, we're just having fun, but it is interesting to think about where the CFPB might be going next. And nobody knows where who's going to be, what the next administration is going to be, whether it's a continuation of the Trump administration or whether it's somebody new. And so it's interesting to think about these different possibilities, especially in the mortgage banking business, because if a completely different director came in, and it's quite possible now because of the recent Saylor Law case, if a completely new director came in, what changes would that implicate? And are you prepared for those types of changes as you work through your businesses? Okay, business update. Let's switch gears. Business update. There was a massive outcry with the recent imposition of really 50 basis points on refis, a so-called adverse market fee that came out of FHFA and applies to Fannie and Freddie. And there was, in addition to this 50 basis point bump in the with this fee, the information from the field is that other investors and other participants in the market have added on to that 50 bips. So instead, it's more like I'm hearing it's more like 75, 80, or 100 bips is the actual impact on the marketplace, a full percent on the marketplace on rates for refis. It's interesting that this type of a movement can really bring together people that you might not normally think of working together very well. For example, there are lots of advocacy groups on lots of different sides that were very vocal in their opposition to this change that takes effect September 1st, if it's left the way that it is. Maxine Waters, the chairwoman for the House Committee on Financial Services, she was very vocal in her protest. Mike Crapo, the senator, Crapo, chair of Senate Banking Committee, and also his counterpart, Sherrod Brown, the ranking member. Both of them were quite critical. They didn't send a joint letter. They had separate statements. This is an election year. But both of them were very vocal. The ABA, the ALTA, the Center for Responsible Lending, you don't normally see these guys on the same side as far as taking positions. NAREP, NAHB, National Association of Home Builders, NAR, National Association of Realtors, the National Fair Housing Association, just lots of different people very vocal and adamant about their opposition to this 50 points plus bump in rates at this time. So all of that, especially again in an election year, makes it quite interesting and creates some interesting allies at a time when lots of people in these very same groups are frequently at odds with each other in their proposed solutions on how the markets and how mortgage should evolve. The election year is upon us, and so we can expect the vocal nature of the industry and the participants to get louder, I think, as we go along. Democratic National Convention starts today. It already started, actually. Tonight, from 9 to 11 Eastern Time, there will be the meaty part of the convention, but it's already started. There are lots of meetings, lots of caucuses that are going on right this minute. This is going to be 4 days of a convention's remote stream. So frequently, people don't quite understand this, but this is in this coronavirus times, the convention is unlike any in the past, and these will be all remote streamed. Last day of the convention, which will be Thursday, there will be the nomination presumably of Joe Biden, and he'll be in his home state of Delaware, and that's where he will be nominated again. Presumably, that will be the case. Tonight's headliners, interesting. Bernie Sanders and Michelle Obama are the headliners, the last speakers. Bernie followed by Michelle. Tomorrow's headliners, President Clinton, and then Dr. Jill Biden will be the headliners. Again, it's going to be a full day tomorrow, but in the evening, those will be the two final speakers. Wednesday and Thursday, we'll tell you more later. And, we have this live stream on Wednesdays too. And so we'll get into some of the details there. Just on the heels of the Democratic National Convention is the Republican National Convention, which begins Friday, August 21st, and goes through the 24th, on which date presumably President Trump will be renominated as the candidate on August 24th. Housing remains strong. That's a good thing, especially in our industry, but especially for the economy, because just as housing, as it goes down, the economy tends to follow. As housing remains strong, the economy helps get supported. And so happy to report new home purchases applications were up year over year, 39%, up slightly from June still. And this is good information, the good news. And so it's a sign that still, despite the uncertainties, that the mortgage and housing industries remain on pretty good footing. Nobody knows where this is going to go. Some other news in just a moment will shed some light on that, but it's good news at the moment. Builder confidence also at an all-time high. NAHB says that there was record traffic, and builders for new home construction are feeling good, and so that's a good bit of news. Also, home prices are up in 96% of the metro areas. That's either good or bad, depending on whether you're a seller or a buyer. But that's a bit of news that comes out of NAR, and actually is also, I think, relatively positive. Mortgage applications are up 6.8. This is generally speaking. Mortgage applications are up 6.8%, so just under 7% from the week prior. And again, some pretty good news in that regard. Let me stop there for a second. Laura Brandow at AFR, thank you very much. Burton Embry, Panorama Mortgage. Burton, fantastic gentleman. If you don't know Burton, get to know Burton. One of the best compliance professionals out in the marketplace. He's way more than compliance, but one of the sharpest individuals in that business. Thank you, Burton, for the support. Mark Dameron. Mark is a serial entrepreneur. Fascinating career. You should check out some info on Mark. Get to know him. And again, thank you all for your support. We do appreciate it here at the Mortgage Banking live stream. Quick tidbits on the regulatory and legal side. First of all, just a reminder, OCC's True Lender Notice of Proposed Rulemaking comment deadline is September 3rd. So make sure, if you want your comments, you want your voice heard, make sure September 3rd, the OCC has your comments by that date. This is very important in this, especially to banks. Very important, but it's not just banks. It's a lot of people that have an interest in this. And if you haven't gotten yourself familiar with this rule and with these issues, then you should. And so check that out. SBA updated its FAQs. This is just one little tidbit. SBA updated its FAQs on the PPP loans, and they did that August 11th. So they're fresh. There's some more FAQs that are out there. If you need copies of that, just let me know. It's very, very important. If you're one of the many businesses, whether you're a lender or somebody else, if you're one of the many businesses that got a PPP loan, that loan is designed to be forgiven, as you know, but you really, really, really got to follow the rules. And you got to pay attention to these rules. And the rules are always evolving. And so you got to make sure that you're paying attention and these FAQs are helpful. And if you need a copy of it, let me know and I'll shoot that over to you. Again, everybody knows, but my phone number, if you want to text me, 301-461-8952. Again, it's in the YouTube description down below. But if you're watching on one of the other platforms, that's the number. If you want to email me, it's troy@garrishorn.com. Very easy. And again, if that information is down below in the YouTube channel, but if you're watching one of the other platforms, feel free to reach out and get that information to you. Couple other thanks, John Herring, Ellie Mae, John, another fantastic individual. John, thanks for the support. John has been at Ellie Mae for some time. He was previously here in the Dallas area where I am currently, and I think that's where we first met, and we had been aware of each other for a long time. But he moved out to California for Ellie Mae, and I know he's doing wonderful things out there. Just a sharp guy. Ariel Gilman of Sheshanoff Consulting, thank you very much. Sam Verma, People's Processing. So many great individuals. Thank you all for the support, and we do appreciate it. If you think this live stream is worthy of it, please subscribe, share the link with your friends, let them see it. This is helpful information. And if you want your comments or your questions mentioned on this live stream, if you want questions addressed, if you want some particular topic for us to dive into, just let us know. 301-461-8952. Again, I say that number really fast, but you can watch this and back it up too if you want. And so you can hear it there, or just troy@garrishorn.com. Either way, give me those questions, give me the comments, and we will make sure that your questions get addressed in a live stream format. This is the Mortgage Banking live stream. Hope you have a wonderful week and a fantastic, thriving business. Go help some people. Peace out.